Hi everyone, Claudette Chenevert here with another episode of Conversations That Matter Most. Really happy to be here today, especially that I'm here with my favorite person ever, Sharona. Hi Sharona.
Hi, Claudette. Hi, everybody. I'm your favorite person. Whee! Wow. And as you can see, there is no label on me today because the computer and cyber gremlins decided that I don't need one. So I am Sharona, midlife women dancing with change. Yay!
That just means you'll be able to share more about what you're doing, right? So welcome everyone, and we're very happy that you're here today. And if this is the first time you're joining us live on one of our episodes, welcome. We're really happy to have you. And if you've been with us before, yay, we're happy that you're back again. So just so in case you don't know what it is we're doing here, Sharona and I love to have conversations that matter most, the why we're doing this. And we love to have these topics where we're talking about all kinds of things that are pertaining to dealing with life matters and important conversations. And we wanted to share them with you so that you would have something to have a conversation, whether you agree with us or not, to jumpstart some conversation topics with your own family, your own group, or even with yourself. And so these are topics that relate to the kind of work we do, but also to our values or beliefs and what's going on in the moment. So today's topic is what it takes to be a leader or a parent in today's world. And so we're going to talk about all kinds of things relating to our relationship, whether you're a stepmom or a midlife woman, which is what Sharona does, and maybe for anybody else in between of all of those. So Sharona, did you want to add anything to us before we jumpstart our episode?
I'm glad you told everyone what we do because I forgot. I was curious what we do. So yes, what we've been doing this for a while. It's almost a year that we've been doing this. So we have a lot of topics at our YouTube channel, Conversations That Matter Most. So check those out. And as someone who does work with midlife women dancing with change, sometimes we forget that as women we are leaders in our own lives, and we may not feel it, or what is it to be a leader as a midlife woman, and or as a woman, period. Period. Yay. So that's something that we're going to talk about today, and how leadership is maybe different in different circumstances and situations.
Yeah, and I love that. We put a little bit of humor sometimes in our topics because everything is so serious, everything is so gloom and doom, and so Sharona and I love to have a little bit of fun. So you might notice this along the way. And also, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to, jump in and share some comments. We always look at what people are asking us and sharing, and we're available for you. Anything else, Sharona, before we dive into leadership and parenting and our role as women in as a leader, and I like to premise that leader also means parenting for me anyways. This is where I focus on, but just leadership also. Anything else you want to say before we dive in?
No, I just, what I think I want to just say a little bit what I am about and who I work with a little bit. Because I feel naked without my name tag. I feel invisible. So here's what. So my name is Sharona. I've been dealing with change, transition, transformations for a while, and my focus right now is being that faithful sidekick to midlife women who may be struggling with midlife change, and who are done just surviving. It's like, I'm done. I've been there, done that. Let's the next chapter be. So I'm all about helping and supporting women and coaching women so that you can thrive wholeheartedly in body, mind, and spirit, one step at a time. So that's what I'm about. And like I said, as I work with midlife women, a lot of times we get to that point, we don't know what is our next step. And, we may not see ourselves as leaders per se. So I'm really excited, or maybe curious, curious, that's the word, of how we can support each other as women and to allow our leadership to blossom as we move forward. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Anything you want to share about yourself, Claudette?
Well, I love that you shared about, and thank you for sharing about what you do, because I think it's so important that we talk about midlife women and leadership. And you do a fantastic job. I know that whenever I start freaking out with my midlife stuff, I can always depend on you. And so for me, I work with stepmoms. I'm a stepmom coach. I've been a stepmom for 26 years, and I've seen a lot of stuff. And one of the things I notice is that, as a stepmom, and I've learned this over the years, is that when you feel confident, when you feel like a sense of being able to assert yourself in a conscious way, in a leadership type of way, as a parent and as a step parent, your life is very different. And so that's why I think it's important, at least for me, and I know for Sharona, that we talk about leadership. With everything that's going on today, with the elections coming on, we hear a lot about leadership, but we want to focus on, what does a good leader look like? What are some of the traits of a good leader? What are some of the things that we can do individually in our homes, in our work, in our lives, to be that kind of leader that other people can look up to and say, wow, I like this person. I really like what they're doing. And so part of being a leader doesn't necessarily mean being in the corporate world or having a business or managing stuff. It's being who you are as an individual within your life context. Anything you want to say to that, Sharona?
As you were saying that, one of the, I have to just share something. I never thought of myself as a leader. I have never saw myself as a leader in any way, shape, or form. If we had to stand in line, I always put myself in the back. I always like to, especially if we were walking, because I meander. I don't have a fast pace when I walk. And so I was always the caboose. I was always the caboose of everything. And so years ago, I was going through my master's program, and they had this whole thing about leadership. And the group, my cohort that I was in, kept saying, no, you're a leader. And I kept saying, but how am I a leader? I'm not doing anything. And then it was about how I impact and influenced the people around me. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't that I was doing anything, like I wasn't conscious of what I was doing or how I was behaving. I was just being wacky me. And one of the ways that leadership showed up for me is I like to give everybody in the group their space to be them. And then I like to ask questions so they come up with whatever they need to come up with, because I don't have the answers. I don't know. And I think someone said that one time, is if you want to be a really good leader, have really good people around you. And it's like, I might have a vision, but I need to have the support and the tribe around me so that I can go forward. And I think as parents, a lot of times as parents, we do not utilize the stepchildren, the children, the spousal units, the in-laws as the tribe, that the whole vision of the family is moving into the direction not one person's visions, but everybody's visions takes into account. Does that make sense?
Oh, I love what you just shared, because, leadership is about impact and influence, right? Just as parenting is, as anybody. And it's funny that you say you don't see yourself as a leader, because I see you as a leader. And sometimes, we're not aware of the influence we have on other people. And I think as women, maybe as women, we may have a tendency not to give ourselves enough credit for what we're doing. And I know a lot of stepmoms that are going through that, where they don't take the time to be aware or notice that even just your presence and your behavior impacts another person. And so that means that, we need to be able to be role models. And being role models also brings you towards being a leader. Now, you said something about, surrounding yourselves with your tribe, right? Well, people will gravitate towards a leader or someone in a leadership position that they feel safe, that they feel they can trust, that they feel respected and valued, right? So a good leader, as you said, will take the time to ask questions. Leadership doesn't mean you're telling people what to do. And the same for parenting. A good parent will take the time to listen to their partner, to the children, and to the people around them, and then ask questions. So being a leader in your community, in your work, in your home, has all the same qualities and traits they're all the same traits. They all have the qualities of respecting others, being involving others in the process of whatever it is they're doing, and listening, in the engagement of everybody being there.
And I wanted to add something to that. As you were talking, I'm sure we have come across people who come in and bark orders at us, and we're told what to do, and and we're not to question. And I can remember coming across those people a lot, that they just say, well, I'm the boss, this is what I'm doing, this is what I want. You would ask a question in the family, and the answer is because
because I said so.
No, that doesn't make sense. So I think I want to go back to that part where you talked about being, to listen. I think as a person who is following leader, I want to know I'm being heard and I'm being seen, and that my voice matters. And I think a lot of times, especially as women, we sometimes think that leaders look like one type of person, and we all have a different way of leading based on who we are and being authentic about who we are. So some leaders are really good about leading around information, around data, around the task at hand. And then there's the leader that are that are good with the people, just, getting the people motivated. Then there's some in the middle, and then you got the barking ones, and then you got the ones who want to be your bestest friends and don't get anything done. So you have to look at what kind of style of leader you are and what are your strengths and weaknesses. A lot of times when we fall into this leadership thing or role model thing, we think we have to be perfect, and we need to remember we're human and we're going to make mistakes.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree. And when you talked about leadership style, there are different styles. And I think being aware of who you are, taking the time to become aware of your strengths and weaknesses so that you're showcasing your strength. And this is the same whether you're working or in a relationship as a parent, as a couple. You come in a relationship knowing that, you have strengths and weaknesses. No one is perfect. No one, not even me. All right. And so that means that, when you understand what your weaknesses are, you allow another person, and that's a sign of a great leader. That person will say, hey, I need help with this, right? I'm not good in this area. Can you help me? That's the sign of a good leader or a good parent. Admitting and accepting that there are things you cannot do, and it's okay. You cannot do everything on your own. That's why you surround yourself with good people, with people who may be better at doing certain things, maybe better if I'm talking about parenting. They may be better at disciplining than you are. Maybe you're the wishy-washy parent and you can't say no to someone. Maybe you're the organized person and the other person isn't organized. So you organize and plan everything. So you take that task on. Maybe you're the type of person who hates getting up and having to do a lot of things early in the morning, but you're great at doing tasks later at night. So you arrange the schedule around this. This is a sign of a good leader, knowing their strengths and weaknesses and engaging the other person or finding persons that will complement your strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, and it's sometimes knowing the weakness, and people don't want to say they have weaknesses, but we all do. And one of the things that recently happened was I was dealing with my 90-year-old father, and my sister is point person. And we're trying to get all the stuff going on. And so here's the thing I've learned years ago about being the leader in the back of the room or behind the scenes. So she's the point person. She's taking care of all that stuff out front. And I'm going to be in the back room on the computer helping her get what she needs done. Now, I normally don't like to do, those little detailed tasks, but I knew that my job as the back of the room leader was to make sure that she was getting what she needed done, right? So that we can help our father and get things done. So sometimes being a leader, we're not in the front of the room. Sometimes we're in the back of the room, supporting whoever needs to be supported in that moment. Sometimes being the leader is sharing the stage. Sometimes it's right. Sometimes it's saying, no, I can't do that right now. I need help, as you said, Claudette. So there's things that I think one of the things is, and when you said role model, I started cringing inside because, oh my God, that's too much pressure. I don't want to be anybody's role model. But the thing is, whatever title you give it, be it parent, be it midlife woman, be it stepmom, whatever it is your title is, or titles or roles are, you are still a two-legged being. You're still an earthling. You're still gonna have I keep going, you're still going to make mistakes or misjudge things or make a decision that doesn't work well. And I think a lot of times when we think of leader, we think of this perfect way of leading. And I think we put way too much pressure. So again, let's go back to what's your style? How do you deal with stress and still be a leader? How do you deal with crisis? I mean, one of the things I learned when you're in crisis, you're going to act very different than when you're in your day-to-day gentle, calm, right? That's when you start. And you know what? When we're in a crisis situation, we do need someone to stand there and say, okay, this is what we're doing. We're going to move to the fire exit. We're going to get out of here now. Crawl, people, crawl, right? So you've got to, you need that, but you don't need that crisis mode leadership every single moment. And I think that's something we need to look at. And if you are in crisis mode situation a lot, then you need to look at, why are you always in crisis? Maybe you might need extra support from the family or an outside person like a stepmom coach or a midlife woman coach to help you navigate and bring down the stress just a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. I loved like the analogy you shared, and definitely for sure, no one's perfect, and being always in crisis mode is, first of all, it's not fun. There's no joy in this, and you're probably not a joy to be around either. Let's just put it out there.
Right.
Someone who always in crisis mode, no one wants to be around someone who's always in crisis mode. So if you find yourself in that kind of position, ask yourself, have I created a world around where I never ask for help? I never delegate anything to anybody else. I think that maybe I'm the one who knows how to do it best and no one else can do it as good as me. So if that's your mindset, if that's your thought process, then those are not quality leadership. And I'm going to use the word quality leadership because you're still leading, but you could do better in terms of, first of all, if you don't take care of yourself, you cannot be an effective leader or an effective parent or an effective anything. You need to take care of yourself. Taking care of yourself means being able to delegate, recognizing what you can and cannot do, and let go of what you cannot do and give it to someone else. Really important. Wise leadership skill advice here.
Yeah. And, as you're talking, I know that we're now in November, which I can't believe. And I know for some out there, this starts the pressure of the holiday season. And I know for many women, there's a lot of pressure to have the perfect holiday dinner or the perfect gift so I'm thinking to myself, how would I, as someone with quality leadership skills and an effective leadership who honors herself as a strong and wise woman, how would I now approach this holiday season different than before so that I enjoy it, not become toxic around it? So that's something you might want to ask yourself. How can I actually enjoy this holiday this time around?
Oh, great question, and great analogies, Sharona. I think you're right. Holidays are coming. I can already hear the stress levels.
Yes.
Coming to higher levels when I'm talking about when I interact with stepmoms, like they're already stressing. We're like we're November 2nd, right? November 2nd. And I hear stepmoms and women already stressing about the holidays, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever, any other holidays that's mixed in between in there, like whatever is happening, they're already like, whoa. So just breathe. You still have some time. And if you want to talk, Sharona and I would love to talk with you. So, Sharona, as we wrap up here, please let the women know how they can reach you if they're like in their midlife and they're like wondering, oh my gosh, how can I deal with everything that's coming? And how can they be a more effective leader in my family, in my life, in everywhere? So, where can they get in touch with you?
Thanks, Claudette. And yeah, so if you are a midlife woman and you're saying, okay, how can I be more effective, more successful, and to thrive in not just my personal life, but as my work life and my relationships, again, wholeheartedly in body, mind, and spirit, you can reach me at Sharona at midlifewomendancingwithchange.com. My website is www.midlifewomendancingwithchange.com, or you can hashtag midlife women dancing with change, and you can find me on social media. I would love to have a conversation about you, especially, if you're feeling already the stress or the uncertainty or the pressure of being a midlife woman at this time, and you just want to, faithful sidekick to help you navigate through the journey of midlife. So that's how you can reach me. And also, I have on my website a couple things that you might be interested in. The first one is a free mini e-seminar called Thriving in the Midst of Change, Midlife Change, and I think it might be very useful. And here's the thing, you can do it at your own pace. Quick, it's easy. You just click on a couple things, watch a video, eat some popcorn, nice. And also you can sign up for my midlife women wisdom and moxie thrival tips, which also give you little tidbits, so that way you're not feeling isolated or alone in your midlife journey. So those are some things that you might be interested in. Claudette, a stepmom, how can she become a more impactful, empowered, and effective? Did I get all the E's in there? And leader. How can they get in touch with you?
Thanks, Sharona. So yes, so if you're a stepmom and you're feeling like you're losing control over your family, your relationship, and you're wondering how can you regain your control? How can you step into a leadership or a step parent role and not lose yourself or have everybody leave you because they're feeling like, oh, I can't do this. I'd love to talk with you. I'd love to help you out. So you can reach me at Claudette at stepmomcoach.com. You can go to my website, which is stepmomcoach.com. You can also hashtag me at stepmomcoach or hashtag stepmomwisdom. And wherever you go, you'll see them on social media. And there's a lot of great information I have out there to help you. Now, if you're interested, like Sharona, Sharona has some courses. I have your stepmom wisdom tips. So if you're interested in getting your weekly stepmom wisdom tips, where I talk about everything from leadership, stress, managing your emotions, your dealing with exes and all of this, just go to my website and log and sign up for your stepmom wisdom tips. You get them every Wednesday in your email. And also, while you're there, why not check out the trainings I have available for you as well. And I'll be talking a little bit more in the coming weeks about an upcoming webinar that's coming for the holidays to help you deal with the stress of the holidays. So anything else you want to add or share as we wrap up and close up here, Sharona?
No, I think one of the things I'm also going to just add into is, we love to hear from you. So you can also put comments down below. Down below. Also subscribe and share. If you find these uh, episodes of Conversations That Matter Most, and as you go explore back, the almost a year worth of these, share with your friends and family and frenemies. Sometimes frenemies need support too. And so, so subscribe and keep in the loop, as they say. Yep. So, and I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you, Claudette, once again for an awesome episode of Conversations That Matter Most.
Thank you, everyone. Take care, and we will see you very soon.
Bye.
Bye.